Hey everyone, this is Joe Filippone and I'm here at Moda and I am with
Stive Mage, aka Vesterifius, aka Jester.
Miram Luxberg.
Lucas Moskin.
Alright, so what brings you guys out to Moda tonight? Are you guys digital artists? Are you a fan of digital art? What brings you out here?
Homie clearly hasn't done his research. This is the 4th time I've performed at the Museum of Digital Art in Hollywood. Usually as Stive Mage, once with a group called Mirrors. I love the space, lends to absolute expression and creativity. I've had the honor of showing some of my digital art projected on every wall and screen at Moda, and I look forward to continuing to perform here.
Alright, great. What about you?
Well, we performed here tonight, and yes, I am a fan of digital art.
Nice, you're just a fan, you don't do any?
She just had her debut digital art
Yeah.
expression here on the screen adjacent to where we give this interview.
Nice. And what about you? Are you a fan of digital art? Are you a digital artist?
I like some digital art. I like Jordan Wrote. Look him up. JRDNRHT.
Nice. So do you guys feel that as artists, digital art is the way of the future? Do you guys think that that's going to take over? Like it's going to be like ebooks with novelists? Like, give me your thoughts on that.
E-books with novelists, opposed as saying sort of like a print artist in a digital format. Sure, I mean the majority of people are consuming art in a digital scape and form with their screens. We definitely live in a time full of screens, so I don't even think it's as much the way of the future as it is the now. In terms of the way artists sell their work and distribute their work through digital art, which is sort of what Paul from Museum of Digital Art here is trying to do, yeah, that's something to look forward to and endeavor upon.
Okay, so as a fan of digital art, what is the best file that I can download? What's the best way to get digital art?
YouTube.
Everything is on YouTube, right? So is that how you guys distribute your digital art, is just through YouTube? Explain a little bit about how digital art works for people like me who aren't really tech savvy, who aren't really familiar with it yet, who are just getting into the digital art movement.
I would say that the big issue with digital art compared to fine art is that a painting there's only one of, and you can't just go and make a bunch of copies of it. But a big issue people have with digital art is that once a file is out there and you email it to someone, even if you have something saying that you're the original holder, it doesn't really hold any value because anyone can just bring it up on their screen and it's just as good as hanging it up on the wall. So there's not much intrinsic value in the original because the replica is exactly the same. So I'd say, personally, when I approach digital art, I just put everything out there because I don't think at this point in time there's anything protecting it.
Okay, so that kind of brings up a good question. Let me ask this to you, since you are a digital artist. Since now we do have the internet where people can just send it and email it to people, do you think that's going to hurt the sales of digital art? Do you think that's going to hurt you guys as artists getting money, getting royalties, protecting your work? What are your thoughts on that, of making money from art or just doing art for art's sake?
Making any profit on something that you create is entering an entirely different mentality and sort of modus operandi with the creation of art. You're usually dealing with other people, there's other realms. When you're a DIY artist, you're usually collaborating with a close group of people that are like-minded, and you're working toward a common aim more than a monetary aim. Yes, you do have to change radically your approach if you're trying to make money from your art. If you look over here and see my kind of stuff, you can see that it's probably not a general aim. If I was to have that aim, I would have to change. I would have to change drastically the way that I went about it. However, what you're saying about, yeah, it is difficult for a digital artist to find money, even if it was something that was sort of unconsciously an aim. So, to answer your question in a quick sentence, making money in the digital art scheme is difficult unless you have a renowned reputation or a fan base, or you find an inventive way of marketing. And something that Paul is trying to do here is actually give artists an opportunity to sell their work in an exclusive manner, so that it is limited content that, as Lucas was saying earlier, it's not just, it's not something that everybody can have access to, even though it's still a representation of. And yes, it is easy to copy digital files, therefore there's a lot of gray matter there. But if you can find a way to do it, I mean, Matthew Barney used to sell the Cremaster cycle for $1 million when it was just a DVD. Is the person that buys it for $1 million going to put it out on the internet? You never know. You can find it if you really want to see the Cremaster in its entirety, right?
All right, just to wrap up, where can people keep in touch with you for your art?
Okay, so you can go to the Facebook page Stive Mage, STIIVE MAGE.
All right, thank you guys so much.